What's up guys, it's Zach and it's time for the top 5 tech myths according to me. So I went through all this and I sorted this out as per my preferences, so let's start. So the myth number 5 says QWERTY keyboard is the most efficient way to type. Really? Well, when it comes to buy a keyboard, no one even thinks of the pattern of the board. It's just QWERTY, be it for PC or be it for smartphone apps. So what does the history say about this? Well, the actual reason or intention behind inventing this QWERTY pattern was to prevent jamming on mechanical typewriters by just separating the commonly used letters. Yes, by separating the most commonly used letters over the board. So it was by Christopher Scholz, the inventor of typewriter. Seems pretty strange, right? Even I did not think twice of the keyboard pattern before buying one. So, it's all about familiar things. And the first interaction that any one of us has with the keyboard is with the QWERTY. And from then onwards we move on with that. And in the later part, no one even prefers to shift to a different pattern because it's kind of strange and unfamiliar. So either way, I think most of the people out there don't even know that there are different patterns which are specifically designed for efficient typing, maybe by just arranging all those frequently used letters in the middle of the board so that you could frequent them easily while typing. Or either way, I think when you surf on the website to buy a keyboard, you surf through tons and tons of keyboards, but there are hardly one or two which are of a different pattern. So what you're going to do, it's the way it is. But hey, I think I could try this out and I'll let you. The myth number 4 is technological inventions tend to an improvement in the quality. Well, that is partly true. It's not always that. I feel technological inventions with the first hint in the mankind tend to gain a lot more popularity sometimes. But regarding the quality or the work that it does, maybe either way. But the things I know is that when there is a debut or there's an invention, they bring in new features which the world has not seen. So that might be a point for its craze. But one point is common in each and every invention is that with time things get better. The work behind those and updates and upgrades they go through, so they tend to get better. As it has been with YouTube in 2005, then there's Android 2008, and iPhone 2007. So things are like this. But regarding the quality, yes, it may be either way for that at that point of the debut. The myth number 3 says closing smartphone apps saves you power. Well, this might have been true with first quite a few versions of Android, but then Android was not that much developed as it is today. So now it's a lot more well sorted out platform to manage apps and the battery backup and things like that by itself. So closing smartphone apps from the recent tab has nothing to do with battery backup, or it could turn things to worse. So it is being certified by Apple and Google that closing apps has nothing to do with battery backup. But yeah, in computer or technical terms, it could be said that when you kill apps from the recent tab, you disrupt the algorithm of the system, so the system might want it back. But either way, the thing is that recent apps, closing apps, it's got nothing to do with battery backup. It's all the same. Myth number 2 is Macs can get viruses. Now, it is also partly true, as Macs cover over 7 to 8% on the whole of operating platforms, whereas Windows covers more than 90% of the operating platforms on a whole. So there it is. A person who designs a virus would like it to affect the mass, Well, let's take an example like people like us who make videos on tech or whatever want their video to reach as much as possible people out there. So where would they put their videos? On a site which people view the least, or on a site which people view the most? Well, obviously the most, right? So it's like that. They want to make the virus affect the mass. So it's in a bad sense. But yeah, Macs can get viruses because after all it's a computer language and it's an Objective-C. So they don't really do that because of the small percentage, but it can get viruses. But there are quite a few ones that are nowadays obsolete So in that sense, Macs can't get viruses. Hey man, how much megapixel is your camera? It's just 5. Look dude, you can't make it. It's not your job. Just leave. Myth number 1 says you can't take good photos unless your camera has got a lot of megapixels. Now this is true for a very few limited cases, but all this megapixels do in a photo is that it just increases the count of pixels in a photo. So when you zoom in, it looks a lot more sharp. But leaving that, there are a lot and tons of things which make a photo good. There's the quality of the lens, the saturation, the blues, greens and reds, the dynamic range and whatnot. But moreover, to take good photos, you need to get good ideas behind the screen. So that's what you can do to take good photos. Megapixels doesn't really matter, but it does when it's very low resolution wallpaper. So that's what it can do. That's it for now guys. Thanks for watching and let me know about all your suggestions in the comment section below the like button. Until then, on to the next one.